Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Traitors, Season 3, Episode 4.
Ooh, what a good episode we had today.
It was very good.
Yeah, well, not today, but, this review is out today.
Yes.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Blair, I'm ready to hear what you think about the show. Walk us through this.
Okay, so Gabby heard Danielle's voice in the bookcase, but she did not see her come out with Carolyn.
Okay.
She ran away because she thought that they might unalive her in that moment.
Okay. I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
Dylan can tell something is going on around the castle. He doesn't really know what.
Mm-hmm.
He does see that the bookcase is open, so he goes in there, starts looking around, and he feels like something has changed. But he thinks that he's too late. Both Sierra and Danielle followed him in there. Danielle was just trying to keep him at bay.
Okay.
Alan calls everyone outside and explains that the Traitors shortlisted 3 players for unaliving. Those players will be put in the coffin, and one traitor will and the Traitors will decide what one person to unalive tonight. Goodness.
I'm about to say, are we there? Okay.
We are here.
Okay. I would say Danielle is not moving smart to me, right? Because I would say to myself, Dylan haven't come to Danielle personally and basically told her his theories.
Yeah.
Right? Only thing you see is that he is consistently snooping around and looking around. And you just being behind them looking too looks suspicious to me because I'm not trusting you with any information. So why are you always here whenever I'm always close to looking for something?
I get you, but you got to remember Dylan said that he trusted Danielle out of everybody.
Oh, yeah,
that?
he did because of their horoscope and things like that because they got the same sign. But I don't think he trusts her more than Boston.
Oh, no. Not at this point.
Not at this point.
No, not at the end of the episode, but the beginning of the episode, I think Danielle probably was his closest ally.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, it's kind of hard to review this show. And when I say review it, I mean like as in being a viewer. Because we get to see it from basically our POV, and we're like, that's dumb. You know what I mean?
Right.
While if I was in there, I'd probably be like, Danielle, do you see anything? Like,
exactly.
You know so like I can understand, but I don't think Danielle is a good actor or actress in this whole traitor fateful thing as she claimed to be, though.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So the 3 players shortlisted were Jeremy, Nikki, and Sierra. Everyone gives their speeches in their coffins. Sierra says that she's coming for the traitors.
Yeah.
Nikki says that she is strong and that she will use her strength to continue to win money for the prize pot. And Jeremy says, traitors, I'm trying to find y'all, but if you don't unalive me, I'll work with you.
What, Jeremy? I didn't understand that, but okay.
Now Robin thinks Nikki and Jeremy are traitors because Alan also told them the traitors could also be in the coffin.
Start right there. Now, I have been one of the ones on here that said I am rooting for Robin, but Robin, literally, every episode, you've been wrong. Literally, like you said, I'm really good at reading people, and literally, you have been wrong on every angle of who you think the traitor is.
Yeah.
Every time. Even when they came to you, somebody came to you, I think it was Dylan who came to you, who said Bob the drag queen.
She's like, no.
She said, no, couldn't be. I was like, Robin, jeez, okay, sure.
Yeah, so Gabby tells Robin, Trishelle, and Dolores that she heard Danielle's voice coming from the secret room. Danielle has been emotional, overacting a little bit, but Robin and Dolores both say no to Danielle.
Do you see what I mean? Now, my thing is, hey, why don't they operate? Now, this is what I would think, right? I would not think, and I'm going to be honest, even though I'm watching it from our POV, I would not think one of the traitors are in the coffin. I wouldn't think that at all, actually.
I wouldn't think they would do that either.
No, because like that's just too... I feel like, truth be told, at that moment, I would have really went off of... You heard who voice coming from the bookcase? Like I literally just would have stuck with that. But I would have kept that to myself. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So everyone thinks at least one person in the coffin was a traitor. So Robin brings up the bookcase to everyone, and they do think that that's where the traitors met.
Yeah.
And Gabby is asking straight up, so who was in the bookcase? A lot of people had a lot to answer for. So Danielle says that she and Dylan were in the bookcase. And in a way, that was kind of smart. I'll give her that.
That was
smart.
Because
Dylan is a faithful, and she's not going to admit that, I was in there before Dylan, but Dylan can vouch for me that I was in there with him.
And Dylan's going to say she was in there with me. Yes, we were. Yep.
But Bob, why are we speaking up? said that he was in there too. We were all surprised that it was there, so a bunch of different people went in. Bob says, if you talk mess, what she was doing about the Traitors, he would think that they would get rid of Sierra. So Danielle is telling the people she's around that she thinks one of the Traitors was in the coffin. Then we find out who was unalived, and it was Jeremy.
Oh, man. Jeremy, boy, the minute he found out he was unalive, his face got wet.
Yeah. But we see how the Traitors made their decision, and he said Danielle's name to a couple of people, so he had to go. They all agreed except for Carolyn. The only thing I want to say about this portion is, Bob, where is your strategy?
There is no strategy.
And Bob likes to get in, put in his opinion, make his voice heard. And I think that's if that's just how you are as a person, that's one thing. But in the game of the Traitors, there has to be some type of strategy, I would think, if you want to be long term. And nobody called you out, Bob, for you to talk on whether or not how many people were in the bookcase. So I think this is just kind of a prelude, which Bob has been doing the whole time.
Yeah.
But a little bit about how Bob doesn't know when to pull back and when to go full out. So
yeah, I actually agree with you, and I disagree only on one part of what you said, right? Because when he was, before they did their nailing in the coffin for Jeremy thing, when they was meeting on top of the stairs, he was like, the house is under chaos. Everybody just going crazy, and it's like beautiful, basically. I'm paraphrasing. And basically he feels like the plan is chaos. And truth be told, I have no problem with the plan being chaos, but if you paid attention, this is actually the quietest that Bob has been throughout every episode, right? And the thing about it is, if you live by chaos, you gotta die by chaos. And the thing about chaos is, chaos take effort, and it just seems like, especially during the chaos, that Bob was more at peace than anybody, and that will raise some like red flags for me. And that's why I'm like, if you're gonna be the one to lead off the round tables, to actually state your opinion, you got to do that every time. And this episode, he did not lead off the round table because he felt no need to, because number one, like, it's chaos. Everybody's under everybody. But if the thing about it is it's not so much of what the detective was talking about, his name, Derek.
Yes.
Right? Well, he was talking about with Sierra, where he was like, she is someone who basically like give off a lot of, she cuss, and that gives off a lot of emotion that she's trying to give off and things like that. That may be true, but I look at patterns, right? And I'm like, this episode, Bob, you was not as in the leader role as much compared to the other episodes. But I would say, to Blair's point, you are flamboyant and things like that. Like you're a big personality. And truth be told, I honestly do not think, even though we are saying these things, that is what got you done. What got you done is you just can't help but talk. You just can't help but put a little 2 cents on things. And that's really what got you done.
Yeah.
Truth be told, nobody would have figured out Bob.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But it's the fact that you just couldn't let the game be over. The game was over, right? And you just had to throw in something because your voice gotta be heard, and that's what got you done up. You know what I mean?
So Carolyn feels like a traitor because in Survivor they say welcome to the family, and she shouldn't have allowed Jeremy to leave this early. So Nikki talks about how she heard footsteps and voices when she was in the coffin. She heard it was kind of like light feet and maybe like 2 voices or more. Danielle was asking some clarifying questions, and Jeremy did say her name. Now Danielle is thinking that maybe now Nikki is thinking Danielle might be a traitor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So at this point, after all this discussion, they don't really know if a traitor was in the coffins or not.
Yeah.
Tom thinks that Sierra may have gotten recruited. Robin says that Sierra had time to prepare her reaction. I don't know what Robin meant by that.
I don't know what you be seeing, man. Okay.
Wes joins Ivar and Danielle, and he's thinking Nikki. She's a performer, WWE. She would definitely put herself in a coffin to try to throw them off. She made a living by being extra, and now she's just going with the group. He thinks that's traitor behavior. And I will say one thing, someone's job is different from how they are in real life.
Yeah.
Just because she can put on a performance with wrestling, and that's something she's really into, and that's her lane.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean every day she's like trying to throw chairs on people.
Yeah.
You know?
I I just didn't see the I just didn't see the parallel with West. Like with the wrestling thing, it's like I don't see that core. I don't see how that matches with what you think a traitor is, especially how Nikki wrestled and things like that. It's like, okay, Wes, I hear you. You know.
So Rob asked Derek, Nikki, and Gappy, would the traitors have been in the coffin? Nikki thinks that that's a move a traitor would do to not go in the coffin to try to throw it on one of the people who were in the coffin. Dylan still thinks Bob the drag queen. Dolores actually agrees. She's not ready to put her neck on the line at this point, though.
That makes sense, though.
Dylan thinks that Bob is an amazing actor and is fooling everyone. Dolores said he is deadly afraid of being caught. If you say it's him, he's going to unalive you.
Yeah, now that's what I would ask, too. I would ask, and that's the thing about Carolyn, which she said, listen, I'm usually one in the group in basically how she grew up, where no one would listen to me. I'm basically just a turd. You get what I'm saying? But I would ask, like, hey, have anybody spoke bad about Jeremy? Like, or basically, what have Jeremy said to basically get him to be unalive?
Right. What conversations? What names was he throwing out?
And the name
there?
that I would think of is Danielle.
Yes.
So that's what I'm not understanding why people are not taking notes,
putting two and two together.
I would take notes from the game, starting from the first game, starting from the rowing game, and I'd be like, okay, who done got unalived? Okay, Jeremy, what conversation did I have with Jeremy? Did he say a name to me? Like those are the things that I will be like thinking more than would the traitor put himself in the coffin? It's like no, it's like at the same time the traitor want to get the heat off of them. So I would say something like, okay, what names did Jeremy say? What names did Tony say? What names did like all these people say to basically like, okay, I heard Danielle. Okay, I heard this. So it's like, that's what I would do with the little evidence, but I wouldn't move on it. I would just take notes.
Yeah, but I think the thing is with this game, it's so hard because you really don't know.
Yeah.
And it's so many things that you're wondering, what could the traitor strategy be?
Yeah.
And you're just not sure, but I think that's a good starting point.
Of course.
So we get to the mission. The prize pot is currently at $35,000.
Yeah.
They have 45 minutes to take the statue pieces and rebuild them on top of the hill.
Uh-huh.
The heads have names on them, and if you get a head on a body, then you get to have a shield.
Yeah.
There's also a potential for $20,000 to be won with this competition.
Now, this is what I don't understand about the games in general, right? Hey, this is the time for us all, even though shields will be given out, hey, let's try to work together. Dude, like, even though we're all, some of us are faithfuls and, like, some of us are traitors, hey, we all still a team trying to get this pot up.
Yeah.
So, I think, forget the traitor and faithful part. As a show, this team of people do not work good in games.
They don't. I will say that it was certain individuals that work better than others.
Yeah.
I felt like Derek did a good job of trying to help other people who were struggling, as well as some of the other guys. But people want those shields. They're wanting the shields more than they're wanting the money, it appears.
Yeah, I know.
So Bob and Robin are trying to strategize of who needs a shield and why, but everybody's just grabbing and running.
Yeah, Rob and Robin. Look at you. You trying to strategize with the traitor. You are just you're cold, Robin, okay?
Derek wants a shield, but seeing someone struggle changes his perspective. He's hoping that doing for others will protect him from banishment.
Smart.
Tom puts his head on the body of another one that someone else was carrying up. So people are starting to see, okay, the guys that brought up their heads first, they're just waiting for a body to get put up so they can plop their head right onto it, even though the other person did all the work.
That is deceptive, okay?
Yeah, but strategic. So we see the 10 who ended up getting the shields. Bob Harper, Bob the drag queen, Rob, Dolores, Wes, Danielle, Brittany, Trishelle, and I said Rob again.
Okay, so I guess Rob got 2 shields. Okay.
So the most selfish players put their heads on the bodies that came up.
Okay.
But they did end up winning $20,000 for the prize pot. Bob points out one of the new guys could be a traitor. The game was over, y'all.
And that's what I don't understand. But
it was over.
Now, say that line again. Bob, the drag queen, said what, Blair?
He says, but I still think one of the new guys could be a traitor.
Why?
Now, Rob feels like he was thrown under the bus, and that is a problem.
Now, here's my thing, right? when you live for attention and you seek attention and you always got to get the last word, you get what I'm saying? This is what you do. You literally put your foot in your mouth, right? Even though we are seeing it from our POV of Bob the drag queen, he has no strategy. He just doing chaos just for chaos sake. That's not what got him in trouble. What got him in trouble was he just had to get his voice out there. Hey, I still think that one of the new guys are a traitor. And I can understand why Boston Rob would be like, hold on, if you are a voice that everybody listen to, or like you have that type of influence, like who to say that they won't, like, you know, unalive me or banish me?
Yeah, like why direct them onto my sense? Like why do that? And I think that Boston Rob, whether or not he felt like Bob was doing that intentional or not, he was like, he's not good for my game.
Yeah, but you gotta understand something, that Bob, they was on the whole, it's rather Nikki or Sierra, who was the traitor, right? They was on that, and people was already coming to terms where we go vote one of them out.
Exactly.
So, but the thing about it is, what is Bob's the drag queen strategy? What is his whole chaos? So he's like, the house is not under chaos enough, right?
Yeah.
Even though we already agree, which I can understand why Boston Rob is like, why did you say that if they was going to get one of them out, right? But the fact that you just want chaos just for the sake of chaos, it's like, nah, man, we got to get you out because you're dangerous. You may not be dangerous for me now, but you're going to be dangerous, period.
Exactly.
Because the whole point is you don't like peace, and that's dangerous.
So Rob can't trust Bob anymore, and he feels like it's time to give the faithful some blood.
Yeah.
He plans to blindside Bob, the drag queen. He doesn't want to lose Danielle and Carolyn's trust, so he's going to use other people in the castle to plant the seed.
Okay.
So Rob goes immediately to Dylan to tell him, we're taking out Bob tonight.
Now, I have a question, right? Great plan, and as y'all watch the show, it was executed, right? Do you think it was smart for Boston Rob to actually be the leading voice on it?
I think that he was trying to get Dylan to be the leading voice. I don't want to jump too far ahead to the round table, but if you're watching this, you've seen the episode. Yeah. So I think that he was trying to put a battery in Dylan's back so that way he could feel supported to speak at the round table again, so that way that Bob could leave. But Dylan wasn't saying anything. Yeah. So Rob ended up, speaking out because time was running down at the round table, and then with him speaking out, he got Dylan to talk. But I really don't think Rob intended to be the one to speak out.
That's the only flaw in Boston Rob's plan in general.
But see, I don't think it's a flaw because...
I do.
I don't think it's a flaw because Dylan wasn't going to say anything. But he had to say something.
I understand that. But my thing is, you have to let Dylan know, listen, you got the votes, but you have to lead the discussion. As in the whole point of me backdooring you is that you don't know that it was me.
True.
Is that the traitors don't know that it was me. You get what I'm saying?
If Rob was to say that to Dylan, that could be suspicious, right? Why do I have to be the one to speak up?
I understand that, but my thing is what Wes said at the end of the episode is exactly what I would have said. Because Boston Rob kind of said something at that round table that would have made me raise my eyebrow at him.
Well, let's move forward so we can get to the round table.
Go ahead.
So Dylan talks to Ivar. Wes is telling Sierra that they should vote for Nikki. It's going to be a split tonight between Sierra and Nikki, so they think.
Yeah.
Rob tells Trishelle to vote for vote for Bob. He's been out front of everything. He is feeling like it's time to get rid of Bob. Yeah. And Trishelle is saying that she needs to take some time to think about it.
Okay.
Derek tells Nikki to vote out Bob the drag queen. Derek does think that Sierra is the traitor because of just how everything has played out.
Okay.
Rob tells Danielle and Carolyn that Bob is going with or without us. Danielle tells him, look, Nikki is getting banished tonight. We've got time to flip the votes. Let's get out there and talk to people because Bob is her closest ally and she doesn't want him to leave.
And Danielle, you're a fool for walking out the room first.
Right.
I wouldn't have even walked out the room first.
Right. So Danielle walked out the room and Rob tells Carolyn, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Survivors go stick together, man. I'm telling you.
So we get to the round table.
Yes.
Wes tells Nikki that he's going to come for her and he believes that she is a traitor. Nikki felt it was suspicious that Wes has been here for 2 days and he has all these suspicions. Wes is supposedly this great game player, so if y'all have questions, question him.
I ain't gonna hold you. I would have voted Wes.
Yeah,
because I would have been like, hold on, what?
It's like you did just get here.
You literally, not even 24 hours ago. You know,
Robin doesn't feel confident about anything.
Thank you, Robin.
She needs someone to come in and speak at this round table confidently about what they believe.
And Dylan, that's where you should have spoke up.
That was Dylan's moment.
Yeah.
But Derek says that he heard Nikki plead for her life and Jeremy sold his soul. He didn't hear that from Sierra. He suspects in interrogation rooms. Well, he says suspects in interrogation rooms use profanity to show emotion, and she's the only one that's done it, so he thinks that she's a faithful. Sierra talks about how she's a faithful, she's a nurse, she's there for people in their hardest times of their life, and she never lies.
Yeah.
Sierra, I hear you, I feel you, but we're in a game right now.
Yeah, we're pretty much, yeah, like, I thank you.
Let's not bring real life into the game, but I hear what she was trying to convey.
Thank you for your service, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of like, if you were picked to be a traitor, you'd be a traitor.
Yeah.
So Rob says, look, they have y'all fighting against each other. He's been playing these games a long time. Since he got there, one person has been quarterbacking this entire show that has the love and admiration of many people, and that person is a traitor. Who every time there is a decision, there is a deflection. And then he turns to look at Bob the drag queen. And Bob looks shocked. He was like...
My base is like, I know.
Like, he's not talking about me.
He like, you can't be talking about me.
Now Dylan gets the nerve to speak up.
Yeah.
I had to go after you because you are loved and you are good at deflecting.
Now stop right there. Right? This is what I mean. It would have been perfectly executed because what happened was after Wes spoke, Derek spoke. Right? And people going to listen to Derek because they believe that this is a crime scene or a crime case.
Right.
And they say, like, you're a detective, so I know you know who it is.
Right.
His skills got nothing to do with the game, right? But Dylan, you actually left Boston Rob out there to dry, right? Even though he's a traitor, right? But my thing is, hey, Dylan, you knew this. This is why I say he should have spoke up. He knew he had the votes. That was the whole point of him going around getting the votes. He knew he had the votes. He just had to put his name behind it. That's all he had to do. Now, I understand that the last time he was confident in things of that nature, I think Robin was confident as well, too. They got somebody out that basically that was wrong, right? But at the same time, Dylan made it known from the beginning, and some people knew in the house that he was on Bob the drag queen from day one. So it wouldn't have been weird for him just to say something at the round table. You know you got the votes, right? And my thing is that would have protected Boston. That would have protected Boston from actually like being out there, and he said something that actually sunk his ship, in my opinion.
What did he say that sunk his ship?
He said, I know for a fact that Bob the drag queen is a traitor. He said, I know 100%. You came in the same time as Wes and Derek.
So how do you know?
How do you know for sure that that he's a traitor? Yeah. So that's why I'm like, even though he said that in a way to basically get people to like basically vote him out, but I'm taking out everything you say. How do you know 100% that he's a traitor?
Well, let's get there. Okay. So Bob says that he has been right about every faithful, and he swears to God that he is a faithful.
Okay.
And Rob says, well, you're not.
Okay. 2 words for you. Okay.
You tell everyone every theory, every single thing you have spearheaded, and the gig is up. Dylan tells Bob he's an amazing actor. He grew up with an actor, and Bob says not a good one.
Well, that's fair.
And Rob says, well, if it's not him, then get rid of me next.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Robin. That's why I put Rob twice, because I'm talking about Robin.
Robin, okay.
Am I talking about Robin?
Are you? Who cares?
No, Rob said that.
Okay.
He said, if it's not him, get rid of me next.
And that's
how he was like 100% sure.
But
right?
but that's what I'm saying. Like, my thing is this. How are you saying you have spearheaded everything? You just got here too. I would have been listening. I would have been like, Tom. Tom is the one that be like bug eye and looking everywhere. I would have been taking so many mental notes. And my thing is, Dylan, you should have been the one. Like, don't coward now. You like what's the point of thinking that it's somebody then when it gets to the round table, nobody talking? You get what I'm saying?
I think he was nervous. He got shut down last time.
Well, guess what? Like, but you know you got the votes. That's what I'm saying. Like my thing is like, of course you got shut down last time, but the whole time there's a plan and order, right? To where like, hey, you know you got the votes. You just got to say something. like now you're saying something first. That's the only flaw in Boston Rob's plan, because now the traitors don't trust you, because now they like, oh my God, how did you turn on him that fast? Will you do that to me? To where Boston Rob gotta have the actual what is the thing? He gotta have the alibi to be like, oh, like I had to look like a faithful.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I will say this though, when it was time to vote, I do feel like Danielle did not have to vote for Boston.
For Bob.
I mean, yeah, for Bob the drag queen. I can't wait for one of them to go. We got Boston and we got Bob. But no, I feel like Danielle did not have to vote for Bob the drag queen though, because the votes was already outstanding against Bob.
It was, yeah. Well, votes are in.
Yeah.
Bob is banished. And Bob gets up there in the circle of truth and he says, I will tell the truth, but I will never tell a lie. He swore to God. That was a lie. He doesn't believe in God. He is a traitor.
Wow.
So everyone is cheering. Danielle feels bad for betraying Bob. She thinks that Rob is a traitor in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Carolyn feels like we just gave all the power to Rob, but we're supposed to be a team.
Yeah.
Dylan knows he couldn't have gone for Bob without Rob, so he is very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Tom says that when Rob speaks, he's going to listen now. And Wes is asking, so how would someone know that someone else is 100% a traitor? And everyone that he's talking to agrees if you're a traitor.
Exactly.
Dylan.
It's funny because
go ahead.
What is my man name? The old white man name?
Ivar.
Ivar was like, well, there is no way that you will know 100%. And Wes was like, yes, there is a way. There's only one way you will know that someone is a traitor. And that is, hey, if you're a traitor yourself. And that's what I'm saying. Stop looking at these coffin games and things of that nature and like, oh, he will put himself in a coffin. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? Look at like what Boston Rob said. He said, if it's not me, vote me out next. And I know for a fact that he's a traitor. And like, just how it went. That's why, even though it was a great plan by Boston Rob, bad execution, or the execution could have been better. You want to make sure that when you do it, your hands is completely clean.
Yeah.
And that you're there like, man, I gotta look like a faithful. I'm sorry. You get what I'm saying? And so that way now the girls go come against you. You get what I'm saying?
So Dylan and Rob have a chat.
Yeah.
Now Dylan thinks that, he's on to Gabby and Bob H. And Rob tells him we have to be careful. Gabby ends up walking straight into their conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
People are still thinking one of the new guys is a traitor. Bob Harper said, "Good night, faithful hunters." He meant to say traitors.
Yeah.
The traitors gather and Danielle is pissed.
Yeah, she's
and that's
hot.
where we leave off.
Truth be told, Gabby, are you just walking around the house because you're happy? Like, you see literally Boston Rob and Dylan in the hallway. I would have thought, hey, was it y'all that was in the bookcase with Danielle? You see, here's the thing. You have to take notes, right? This is why I would have been a great faithful. I would have been like, okay, so Bob the drag queen got eliminated. Okay, let me go through each game. Okay, the first game he was on the raft with Danielle. Okay, let me put her name down. Jeremy said Danielle. Okay, that's 2 strikes for Danielle. Like that's what I would have did. And then I would have tried to, well, this is the risky part. Who do I actually tell my theory to?
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with.
You gotta get numbers.
I can't go with Robin because Robin she's gonna steer me in the wrong direction every way. That is where I feel like I will have all the notes and I have to be like, okay, who do I trust in here? And I just feel like Boston is playing a good game. Now he put a target on his back. Now he gonna be playing the game of getting rid of the traitors. Now he's basically gonna be playing the role of a faithful because he can't keep the traitors there. And I wonder what he's gonna say to them to make them like, be like, okay, I'm not mad no more. But truth be told, Bob the drag queen did it to himself.
Yeah, I agree.
He did it to himself. It wasn't even his strategy that got him eliminated. It was just the fact that he liked chaos and he liked being in the spotlight. And that's just the thing about it. It was just his personality was too big that, like, literally, like for example, he wouldn't be able to commit a crime without letting somebody know he ddid it. Because it's like, oh man, I wish you watched Game of Thrones. For all my Game of Thrones people watching, when she was about to die, it was an old lady, I forgot her name, it'd been years, right? When she was about to die, and that's when she had to drink the poison. Right, she drank it fast, and she said, "Let Cersei know that it was me." That's who Bob the drag queen is. Bob the drag queen is someone that says, if I did it to you, I want you to know I did it to you. And that what got you messed up.
Yeah, well, that's where we end. I'm looking forward to see how the Traitors can come back from this if they can. Otherwise, Rob gonna have to get everybody out.
Yeah. True be told. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what y'all thought about this episode and what strategy y'all will have. Y'all be good.
Bye.